announcements. So first you can print off like the monthly calendar. It'll have key dates from corporate on there. And then, so if you didn't see, if you sell a challenge pack through the end of today, so at midnight, or no, tomorrow, the end of tomorrow at midnight, you have a chance of winning the breast cancer awareness bike. It is pink, and they will pick the winners on Friday at 10 p.m. Well, 10 a.m. Pacific time, so that's like 9 a.m. our time, I think. Peppermint mocha is out and available. It is still available. It has not yet sold out. Typically, it does sell out pretty quick, but I know they're pretty good about figuring out their portions lately. So that is still available. Premiere week is still going on, and there is another live workout the next 2 days. So that is right on body. That's kind of fun. And then the challenge, which it doesn't say, it still doesn't say the date though this was extended. So the $20 off is extended, but it doesn't say through when. So you'd have to look at the fact, but it's still extended. And then if you hit Success Club 5 this month, you can earn a body hat. And then there's Bod Groups update. The body's now available to everybody. So the rest is kind of old news. So that is that. Aubrey, please lay down. But so that is exciting things. I'm gonna try and get that challenge pack in to win a bike. Let me go get her quick. Oh. All right, so today we're going to talk about telling a story and how that story can sell. So for me, like my story, if you don't know, obviously is I started as a challenger because I hit the lowest of my low. I was 6 months postpartum, very lowest part ever mentally, highest on the scale, low. And I started as a challenger after watching someone on Instagram for months, getting invites, and I was very anti-coach. And after losing over 13 pounds, having good results, having mindset shift, being in the challenge groups, I decided to share it as I already was on social media without being a coach to help others. And then it's kind of progressed from there. So 3 years later, like have a team, replaced over half my income from the hospital, like things like that. And really when I started as a coach, I was like, one, I want to help people, and two, like maybe not stress out about having to buy gas, like maybe. So as your story, like there's a few questions to ask yourself, like where were you at before your challenger journey started? Where were you at the point before your coaching journey started? Like, what is your story? And then kind of explain that instead of like barking at people about it, if that makes sense. So like I told you my story, and that is the story that got some of you guys here, or your coach's story got you here. Like ask yourself what your story is so that you can be able to talk about it. Like you need to get good at telling your story. So you kind of have to know your story. It's not going to be something that changes. It's not going to be something like you can grow from it, obviously, but what happened when you got started hasn't changed. So what got you here? Were you at your lowest, or did you just want to have the community, or did you want the income, or did you start a program and get good results and want to help others? Whatever it is, get good at telling it, because the only way you're going to get good at telling it is by telling it, and telling it in your stories, in your posts, in your lives, like in your group, whatever it is, just be telling your story. And that is enough to sell. Like facts and telling the facts about your story is what sells. Again, you know, I can't talk. So really kind of the flow of your stories is where a lot of people get caught up. And it's not like you have to tell your entire story, every single post, every single story. Obviously that's kind of repetitive, but it's going to be like before XYZ. So before coaching, before being a challenger, before the community, before the products, whatever it is, that's, you're going to elaborate on that and then go into since X, Y, and Z. So since coaching, since being a challenger, since the products, whatever, you're going to elaborate, obviously. And then you're going to go into in the future with X, Y, Z. So in the future with coaching, I look forward to bringing a team to events, or being able to work from home, or having a community, or continuing to have good gut health, or continuing to feel good in my journey. Whatever it is, you're kind of going to have that 3-step analysis that isn't going to look the same. Nobody's going to look at your post and be like, yeah, that's the same formula you used on the last one. No, because you have different parts of your story. But it's before XYZ, elaborate, goes into since XYZ, and elaborate, goes into in the future with XYZ. There you go. And every single part of that gets an elaboration. And this can be quick. So it can be as quick as, before I started my journey, I was at the lowest of the low and the heaviest I've ever been. Since I started my journey, I have found my self-confidence, my mindset's been boosted, and I feel good. And in the future with my journey, I look forward to continuing to feel good, continuing to grow my mindset, and continuing to not be in the gutters. Super, super quick. It sounds like it could be really long. You can obviously elaborate more, or it can be quick. So it doesn't have to be super crazy long. It's not always going to be the same, but it's going to be super nice to just kind of have that formula through your posts. And so a part of this is also just storytelling on social media. So obviously you tell people your story in person or whatever, but social media is where our main focus is in this type of business. When I started social media, I started with, when I started coaching, I had about 500 Instagram friends, and that's it. I remember sitting at Summit, and Cassie and I went back to the hotel room after one of our trainings, and we're like, we're totally revamping our Instagram, and we put up highlights and changed our profile picture and our bio. And I have the screenshot somewhere. I had about 500 Instagram friends, and I didn't want to like pester just my high school friends and my family, and I didn't want to harass them and like be annoying about it when there's billions of people in potential lead on social media and in the world. So to expand by using your story, I have realized kind of the 4 personalities by my good friend Jessie Lee. If you don't know about her, she like lives and swears by this, and it's been really helpful with posts. So there's 4 personality colors, and I'm going to send out, or I'm going to post a thing so that you can kind of find out what your personality color is. And it's kind of fun. You might be able to tell just by like me going through them. But when you're telling your story, you want to talk in all 4 of the color personalities. It's not super crazy, but it's really nice because you're not then just talking to one person. Like you're kind of talking to all personalities. So I'll kind of go over them. So blue is the entertainment. So if you're talking or you're doing a live or you're in a story, like moving around, props, kind of like hopping all over the place, funny, exciting, like just using that energetic self. That is blue. So you want to find that part in there. And then there's green, which is the details. So walking through the details of events, sharing the small details. So like lowest of the low, heaviest, not feeling great. And then they're really big on numbers. So for my story, blues would be like, oh, she replaced half her income from the hospital. Like that number stuck out to them. For blue, the entertainment, funny, exciting, all over the place is in the presentation of like stories and stuff like that. Yellow is the feelings. How are you feeling? Talk about how you felt, not giving up, strength, feeling broken, feeling your comeback, like just kind of really talking about how you're feeling. So my journey, when I explained it, would be I was feeling really low. I then felt really confident after my journey. So that is kind of those yellows. And then the reds is like the wins. So like the reds is I'm not giving up, the determination, the all action, you will not be disappointed, like not coming here to play, like I'm going to get this done. Like I'm committed to my journey. I'm committed to coaching. I'm going to win this thing. Like I'm not giving up. So reds are really kind of those blunt force, a lot like me. I'm kind of a combo of the yellows and the reds. But like getting to the straight and to the point. So finding a way to slightly incorporate that into your story and into your post is going to help snag different types of people into your corner. And it's going to make a really diverse and fun challenge group and coaching world and stuff like that, as well as not just, you're expanding your broad spectrum throughout those billions of other people that are potential leads for you. So really using that formula of before X, Y, and Z, because of X, Y, and Z, and in the future with X, Y, and Z, into using all 4 color personalities is really going to help create a strong and successful post for you, as well as just overall throughout your social media. And I know a lot of people are just like, but I'm boring. Like, I go to work, I wake up, I go to work, I come home, I make dinner, I put the kids to bed, and I sleep with my dog. Or I come home and I say hi to the hubby and we eat and we go to bed, because that's just our life. But there are exciting things in your life, but you feel it's boring because it's you. So even as simple as like sharing what you made for dinner that night, or talking about how you and the hubby find time together, what your favorite things are together, or your morning routine, or how you make it through the day at work, or how you fit in your workout. Like, just there's little things about you that you feel are boring, but just share your day, because it can inspire someone else, and it's not boring to other people because they're not living your life. So you're not boring, I promise, even though you feel boring. I feel boring majority of the time, like same thing, different day. But those are really the connecting points. Like, who are you? Do you know who you are? Like, write down who you are. What are your favorite things? What are your favorite hobbies? What do you like to do? What don't you like to do? Like, is there something that a lot of people like that you don't? Do you like Christmas in November, or are you a waiting till December person? Like, there's different things about you that are going to connect with other people. And it is most often like the most ridiculous things, especially on like your stories, the polls and stuff like that. Like, that's what people remember you, is the little things. Like, people remember that I love Christmas in November, and that I drink tequila, and that margaritas and tacos on Tuesdays are my thing, or any day. Like, it's just really kind of the little things that you share in your stories that people are going to connect with and remember about you, that's going to keep you in the forefront of their mind. So facts tell and stories sell. So you want to keep those facts, and then also tell your story so that grabs them in. Everything is a story. Every part of your life is a story. The good, the bad, the trauma, who hurt you, products, journey, daily life. Like, you all have a story to tell. And if you feel like you don't have a story to tell, that's probably because you're scared in some way, shape, or form, you're fearful, or you just really haven't kind of thought about it, which is okay as well. But really dig into, like, who are you? Like, who are you? I want you to like write down the things about you that, even if you think it's boring, that make you you. Again, favorite things, favorite hobbies, favorite things to do, because people do business with people they like, know, and trust. And if they don't know anything about you, they're not going to know how to like you. And if they don't know you by not like, if they don't know anything about you, they're not going to like you or know you, and then they're not going to trust you. Like, you have to make those connector points. So tell your story, and then tell it again and again and again and again. So again, it doesn't have to be the same portion. So a lot of times I'll talk about like the coaching aspect of just the community, and then the coaching aspect of the income, and then the coaching aspect of events, and the coaching aspect of staying accountable in my own journey and the challenger journey. You have the nutrition, you have the workouts, you have the feeling good, and you have your own results, you have your challengers results, you have the challenge group, you have the products, you have all these different things that you can talk about, and they don't all have to be in the same post. Like, spread it out, make it fun. In your stories, what are you going to talk about each day? Are you going to share what part of your workout are you going to share? Are you going to say something inspirational? Are you going to talk about how you felt after? Do a poll, see who moved that day. Just little different things that you are able to give snippets of your story each day, like just little different parts. So really finding who you are, asking yourself, what got you here to start your challenger journey? Again, kind of back from the beginning, what got you here before your coaching journey? And then really using that formula to format your story. So before XYZ, so before coaching, before my journey, before the products, before the community, elaborate. Since XYZ, so since coaching, community, journey, whatever it is, elaborate. You go into the future with X, Y, and Z. Like, I look forward to this. I look forward to being able to have that extra income. I look forward to the community. I look forward to helping other women or other people in their journey. I look forward to having a team at events. I look forward to just have the extra accountability with the amazing people. Whatever it is, really elaborate. And again, it does not have to be long, but every single part of that has an elaboration. And then you put a picture with it and you have a post. And you have a post that's going to grab people in all 4 color personalities to allow you to reach out to the billions of people and potential leads that you have. Don't let the numbers on Instagram get down on you. Don't let your stories boring get down on you, because it's not. There's someone out there that needs to hear your story. You just have to put it out there. They're waiting for it. They've heard a million of other people's stories and it hasn't clicked yet. But as soon as you say it, they're gonna be like, yes, I feel her and I feel like I can relate. And that's when I want to get started with. I'm ready. So really just figure out your story. That's kind of your homework, is figure out, where were you before your challenger journey? Where were you before your coaching journey? And then really kind of just write out. I have done it a few times. I like just writing out from start to current, where I was, like the whole thing, like my challenger, my whole story of like before I started as a challenger, into my challenger, into coaching, into the last 2.5 years. I like to at least once a year really start just writing out my whole story. And then I'm able to pick and choose from there what my favorite parts, or not my favorite parts, but different parts of it when I want to talk about my story. But I'm like, I don't really know what part to talk about today. You can just kind of pick and choose from there what part you want to talk about in your post that day, because it doesn't have to be the whole thing. So it might help just to write it out. If you're like, I don't really know what my story is, I don't know where to start, just write it out, beginning to finish, before you started to where you are now, the whole thing, how it morphed out, because then you'll know. And then once you start telling it consistently, you'll get really good at telling your story, and it's going to really start clicking with people and resonating with the people that are your people, because not every one of the billion potential leads are your people, but there are people out there that need to hear your story and are waiting for your story to change their life. So get good at it. Tell your story, tell it again, over and over and over and over and over again, repeatedly, because not everyone's watching you 100% of the time, and there's so many different aspects of it. So that is really kind of my biggest things on telling a story and morphing it into your posts and your everyday life, and telling your story on social media and all the goods. I'm going to find the personality color quiz because it's kind of fun. If you have a guess on what your personality it is, drop it in the comments. So blue is entertainment, moving around all over the place, funny, exciting. Green is details, so numbers, sharing the facts, the events of things happening, important details. Yellow is the feel, so when someone's talking about how they're feeling or how they felt, getting really kind of into the emotions. And then reds is win, so determined, not here to play, I'm gonna win this stuff, I'm gonna get nitty gritty. I'm kind of a combo of yellow and reds. Reds are kind of in your face, more we're going to do this, let's freaking go. I've had to kind of dial back a little bit with coaching, because sometimes it could come on real strong. But I like to get a little sassy still sometimes, but just kind of fun to know that color and who you really relate with. And then also find who you need to reel it back a little bit and get a little more feelsy with. So really finding how to incorporate those all into your post, which is not super hard. It's nothing super crazy, but it's exciting. So that is the biggest part of storytelling that I'm going to elaborate on today. Homework again, ask yourself those 2 questions, write out your story and figure out your personality color. And that is that. If you missed the beginning, Peppermint Mocha is still up for grabs. If you sell a challenge back from the 1st of November, so if you've sold one in the last 3 days, all the way up till tomorrow at midnight, you can have a chance of winning the breast cancer awareness mix bike. It is pink. They'll pick that 10 a.m. Pacific time on Friday. And then that's really kind of the biggest. Oh, and they extended the sale, so the $20 off challenge packs. They didn't put a specific date in there. I'm going to assume all of November, but I'm going to look in the FAQ and see if they put a specific date in there, but they didn't put a date on the announcements. So that is exciting. And then this month we just have the we're doing like a monthly theme for Level Up Lifestyle, so Gains and Gratitude Boot Camp. So we'll have those daily posts in there, and then we're sharing some like more fun and like engaging posts in there as well. And then I'm also gonna I'm creating a link for Spotify, and we're gonna have everyone like add their own songs into it. We're gonna have a Level Up Lifestyle playlist that'll be fun. So just like new and exciting things to engage people back into Level Up Lifestyle. So if there's any ideas on that, always feel free to shoot them over, because we're always looking for that. Yeah. Any questions?